Yes, guys, great to see you. Denis the Menace, Denis Puric in the house, James Goyder with me. Really good to see you, mate. 167. Rodtang, you got your wish. It's going to be an absolute banger. It's going to be in kickboxing. How must you be feeling right now? Two back-to-back wins, and now Rodtang awaits.
Feel great, man. Feel great. Right where I need to be, man. To be honest, it's been a long time coming, but I feel like we're right where we're supposed to be. Especially them trying to make this a kickboxing fight because kickboxing is my world, man. I don't know what they were thinking. So let's see what happens.
And
Yeah,
I wanted to ask. Sorry, go ahead,
talk to us
Andy.
about the kickboxing fight, mate, because I was surprised. What do you think the thinking is there? Do you have the advantage here?
Well, of course, I think I have the advantage. I think I have more tools when it comes to kickboxing. Um, he has more chance in Muay Thai than kickboxing for sure because you get to use the clinch and the elbows. I'm more of a kickboxer myself, um, but hey, I think it's just God's plan, So let's see. I'm excited, man. Either way, even I get it. It's not for the title, but I'm still excited because when I win this fight, now I have the doors open for both belts. So it's played out great on my end, anyways.
Yeah, I'm really curious to know how did this fight play out in terms of your last fight? Obviously, you beat Jacob Smith. Immediately afterwards, you were adamant, I want Rodtang. And then you're probably not aware of this, but round about the same time that I think you were fighting Jacob Smith, Chatry was backstage telling everyone, yep, Rodtang, he's got this kickboxing fight booked for 167. We've got his opponent. It's all sorted. We're just not ready to announce just yet. So I imagine at that stage you weren't the opponent. What happened? When were you offered the fight, and when did you find out that you would be fighting Rodtang?
I got offered the fight right after the event. I they came up to me and they asked me if I wanted to fight in June. They said that if you I said listen, I want to stay busy all this year. Um, Depending on how this fight goes, yeah, I'll be ready in June for sure. I mean, I want to stay busy. I want to get as much work done as I can this year. I think I need to get this ball rolling because I'm not getting any younger. But I mean, again, at the same time, I feel great. So yeah, they offered me the fight. I said sure, let's get it done. And I found out right after the fight, yeah, that they wanted me to fight Rodtang. So kickboxing rules, and I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to say that this will be a mock-up fight, getting them ready to fight Takeru in September. But we might have to ruin some plans.
Yeah, I see. We've got the fight between you and Jacob Smith now, which of course one fight night 21, I think, earlier this month. Couple of questions about that. First of all, a little bit of controversy. The first knockdown, it looked like more of a slip. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I didn't catch him clean, but as you can see, the referee was on the opposite side, so he couldn't see where I caught him. I guess from his view, it looked like I caught him flesh in the jaw, but I did. It wasn't a clean shot. Definitely, it looks like I caught him in the uppercut, but the second shot was straight down the pipe. It landed clear.
Yeah,
It landed
the
flush.
second knockdown looked good. Afterwards, I heard, I think your corner were a little bit unhappy about how that second knockdown was handled with the round ending. What was the issue there?
With my corner.
Yeah, I heard one of your coaches just saying that because the round ended and then he got a count after the round. I heard one of your coaches complaining about it.
One of my coaches, I don't think my coach was complaining about it. My coach was complaining about definitely the elbow to the back of the
Elbow
head.
to the back of the head, yeah. But the referee gave a timeout. He didn't deduct a point, no.
Yeah, he didn't deduct a point. That's what my cornerman
Okay,
was
maybe
screaming
that
out
was the
for.
issue. He was upset
Yeah.
the referee didn't deduct a point, basically.
Yes, correct. He was actually saying disqualify him, but I mean, look, we were already up, so I'm a
What?
fighter, man. Me, I love to fight. So my coach is He's very overprotective of us, all of his fighters actually, and he that's him, man. He's a little bit wild.
Because there was that elbow in the back of the head, which obviously the referee picked up on, and then he seemed to sort of like, it seemed to be more of a jokey thing, but then he kind of tried to like knee you when you were on the ground. He didn't knee you hard, and he seemed to have a smile on his face, but he got a
Yeah,
warning. Was there like a little bit of animosity between you
I
and the
think.
ring there? What was going on there?
Nah, man, I don't take these things. I don't take these things to heart. It is what it is. We're in there. We're fighting. Um, we can play. They can play dirty jokes all they want, but for me, that doesn't really get to me, man. I've been in this game for so long. I've seen it all, man. I know I've been through it all, and these small little tactics, they don't really bother me. Um, yeah, that's how I see it, really.
Talk to us about Rodtang. Of course, he's one of the biggest names in the sport, fan favorite because he does stuff like this. What's he in for when he faces you?
He's in for a lot of fucking power. So, um, look, I have nothing but respect for Rodtang, and he's the best in the world. And us fighters, we come to fight the best. Especially we're gonna perform on the biggest stage in the world. We want to fight the best fighters in the world. But um, since I started watching him, he's a great fighter. But I just feel like I know I can beat him. It's his biggest weapon is the pressure. You know, and another thing you have to realize that he's never fought since besides Superleg and Haggerty, he's never really fought a ranked fighter. You know, so
You mean inside one championship, yeah?
yes, correct. Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. So inside one championship, yeah, he's never fought a contender like a top five guy. He the only since especially since Superleg. That's the only guy that I can think of that he's actually fought that's in the top five rankings. So um, I feel like I have a lot of experience that I can bring to the table, and the only thing that I have going against me is my age. So I got to work a little bit harder just to get in shape. you know, it's a little bit harder to get in shape at this age. So, but I mean, kickboxing rules, man. Like you see this thing, he's not gonna be taking shots from me like that, brother. I promise you that.
Did you see the interview? Like the last time that he fought a non-Thai fighter was, I think it was Edgar Tavares who he fought in the US. Did you see the interview with Rodtang afterwards when Rodtang said, "I didn't even bother training for that fight. I just played
because that's
football,
the
went running a
biggest
couple
bum,
of times."
the biggest bum in the league, bro. Come on, man. I don't even know how this guy got signed. And he got $100,000 bonus for that fight. Like I don't, man. We like the rest of us. We fight our hearts out trying to get paid, man. And my fight before I fought Jacob Smith. I put this guy's lights out. I didn't get a bonus, but Jacob Smith got a bonus. With a body shot TKO. You know what I mean? So anyways, it is what it is. Not trying to think about that. I'm super focused on this fight. I'm already in camp. I'm working on my conditioning. I hired a strength and conditioning coach here in Phuket, so I'm gonna be. I'm working. I'm actually working hard right now. I'm just trying to, uh, try to be the best shape possible because I know Rodtang's coming forward, and I gotta have the conditioning to withstand the pressure.
How
So
much does it send a message to fighters that you have to call your shot? I'm sure you had friends in the gym saying, dude, you're not getting Rodtang, but you called your shot. You called your shot again. You beat the Birkenhead bomber and you got what you wanted. So is that a lesson in life or fighting as well? You gotta call what you want.
You know what? Don't always believe in yourself and chase your dreams until they come to you, because when you're focused and you're putting work in towards your goals, eventually it's going to come to you. It's going to come. You just got to stay on the grind, stay focused, and like try not to get sidetracked by anything. And look at me, I'm 39 years old and I'm getting my shot. Like even though like I've been in the game for a long time, you know, I fought in China for a bunch of years, and um, maybe my name didn't get out there because the Chinese, they don't really have social media. They have their own social media platforms, right? So, but I've been in the game for a long time, man. I've been whooping ass for 20 years, man. I fought some of the biggest names in the world. I've knocked out Ponsonne Sidmonchai in 10 seconds. I fought
You
Rungravi
knocked out
Sasitrapa.
Ponsonner. When did you knock out? I didn't know that. When did you knock out Ponsonner?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Nobody does the research on me, man. I fought the biggest names in the world already.
Where was that? Was that
Listen,
in China or was
that
that in
was in
Canada? Or?
Top King World Series. That was in 2014, I think it was 2013 or
That's
14.
24. So
2014.
Ponsonner was still pretty good back then, wasn't he?
100%. He was on top of his game, man. Um, I knocked him out with like it was like a first shot, 10 seconds within the fight. You can look it on YouTube, man. You can find it.
So I mean,
Um,
Ponsonner. I mean, that's going back a while. I know Ponsonner's like long since retired, but he was one of the guys fighting in the Bangkok stadiums that was really like renowned for like his punching power.
Come
You know,
on,
the punches and low
he
kicks.
was one of my favorite fighters, growing up and you know following the sport and stuff like that. He was one of my guys that I looked up to, you know, because he had that style, you know, that vicious coming forward. Just he was one of the most dangerous guys around at the time, you know. And yeah, I got to fight. Actually, I fought Runravi first in K1. K1 World Max in Thailand when Buakaw fought
Oh, we were there.
Enrico,
What when Borkow? Yeah,
Enrico
that was in
Kerr.
Pattaya. I was there that night. That's when Borkow
Pattaya,
refused to come
exactly.
out for the fourth round. Yeah,
Yes, I was the opening
I was
fight.
there. Yeah.
I was the opening fight for that event. I was me and Runravi were the opening fight for that event.
Okay. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would have been there for that.
Yeah, and then after that, I fought Ponsonne, knocked him out, and then they wanted me to fight Runravi again for a rematch, but I was fighting under Buakaw's. I was under Buakaw Bunchamek team at the time, and
Ravi
Bu-
Sassy Prappa. Yeah.
yes, but Runravi and Buakaw are actually related. They're family. They're close cousins. So supposed to rematch Runravi because I lost to him in K1. I knocked out Ponsonne, and then they're trying to rematch, but Buakaw wasn't having it. He's like, I don't want you to fight him. That's because they're family, right? So
Paul Daly fought on that card as well, didn't he? That
Paul
card in
Daly did. That's
Paul
right.
Daly,
That's
yeah, I
right.
remember that.
Paul Daly did fight on that card. We actually became good friends around that time.
So
Good
I mean
guy.
that brings me on to like my next question, because I was just saying that Pontoner's obviously, you know, a lot of guys in the stadium game in Thailand kind of play the points game, and you know they're trying to win a decision. They're not really trying to hurt you. Pontoner's a guy like straight out round one, you know, bang, he's trying to hurt you right from the opening bell.
That's it.
Rodtang's another fighter that generally fights like that. It's got that sort of a reputation. Another fighter with that style who you fought already is Yodlek Pech. And it seemed like you were doing great. Obviously, he's a southpaw. I know Rodtang's orthodox, but you seemed like you were doing great for the first two rounds. And then that first knockdown, what are your thoughts on that? Because it looked like he dropped you with a body shot, and then he hit you with a headshot. Do you feel like you were downed when he hit you with a headshot, or do you think that was a fair shot?
I was down when he hit me, but look, the referee never said stop. I didn't. My hands weren't on the floor. I wasn't down fully, so you know he had every right to throw that kick, and it is what it is. Now I was doing fine. The problem was we had a bad game plan with that fight. You know, they were telling me, well, my coaches were telling me not to kick with him. He has a strong kick, and you know, just stick to boxing. And then you know, it was just back in my head, and I was trying to stay away from the kicks and just keep throwing hands. But really, I should have been kicking more to open up the hands, right? So, again, it is what it is. I would love to have a rematch. I guess eventually down the road, sometime with Yodlek Pet. But right now, the focus is on Rodtang, trying to beat the best fighter in the world, so I can change my life and my family's life for once in this game.
Can I ask you about your master plan? Do you have a master plan? Of course, you haven't got time to sit around. I assume, you're planning to shock the world and finish Rodtang, but do you know what you want next? Because that could open up some unbelievable doors for you, right?
Oh, then I want it all, man. You know, I once I beat Rodtang, you know, I want the belt at on both in Muay Thai and kickboxing. So, um, yeah, man, you better keep that belt shiny for me because I'm coming for both of them for sure.
At 39 years old, beating Rodtang, coming for a world title, that would be kind of a rocky story. I mean, that would be something special, right?
That's what I'm saying, man. We're gonna make history. We're gonna shock the world, and believe me, it's going to happen. Especially in kickboxing rules. Is there's no way he has no chance in kickboxing rules
So
against me.
you think the bigger gloves, you think they play into your favor, do you, the bigger gloves? Or you just think it's because he doesn't have his elbows?
Yeah, he doesn't have the elbows. Well, it's not even the elbows. It's the clinch that I'm worried about more than anything. It's not like he's not a clincher, but once he feels the power, he's not gonna want to fight me the way he fights the rest of the guys, especially with the small gloves. You know, um, Jacob Smith, this guy is a warrior, man. He's very durable. He was hard to put out, and honestly, that fight week, all fight week, I feel like I've gassed out at the end there only because I wasn't sleeping. I had a bad weight cut. I wasn't recovering well after the weight cuts. And then when I was trying to go to sleep, I wasn't eating and like I wasn't sleeping all night because my body was just empty, you know. I tried some other ways of cutting weight and it wasn't working out for me. And it was really messing me up because that whole fight week I had maybe like 10 to 12 hours sleep. So I feel like I was just fatigued from not having proper rest before the fight.
Do you think? I mean, you seem to fade a bit in certainly at maybe the end of the second round, the third round in that fight with Yodlek Pet. Was that a stamina issue, or was that just a question of Yodlek Pet hurting you with those body shots?
No, he actually landed a few nut shots that the referee wasn't calling out. He hit me in the nuts quite maybe two or three. I know in the first round he hit me once. In the second round he hit me once or twice. Or was it the first round he hit me twice and the second round was once when they finally seen it. And then it just kind of took took it out of me, you know. Um and I also, you know, his pressure kind of drained me a little bit. And once that kick landed, yeah, I just kind of drained. It was more like I kind of just more drained than I was defeated. You know, I just kind of gave up on it. It was just drained me at the end.
Have you watched Yodlek Pet's fight with Rodtang? Have you ever seen that?
I have actually. I have. I
Because
have, and I see
that was in
Rodtang
Phuket. Yeah.
moving back the whole time. Like I don't know. I've kind of had Yodlek Pet winning the fight, especially with the aggression coming forward. But Rodtang was landing a lot from the outside, so you know, could have went either way in my eyes. Now I don't know what
Yeah,
you guys
it's
think.
one of those fights you think like Rodtang's fighting Yodlek Pet, it's going to be like fight of the year, and it just I don't know. Rodtang kind of I don't know if it's because in Phuket and it was in Phuket and there were less people betting on it, but he just kind of took quite a cautious approach. It was a bit disappointing in that respect.
Yeah, he wasn't coming forward at all. He was moving away from Yodlek. Yodlek Bey was coming forward, man. He was the aggressor, and and that's another weakness I see there. You know, in Rodtang, he he comes in and people get scared, and it's easier for him to pressure guys when they're moving back. With me, I'm not gonna, you know, if I move back, you're getting hit any way I go. Especially in kickboxing, man. I have good angles. I have good hands, and I think I'm faster than him, even though I'm older. I feel like I'm more explosive and faster. And again, like I'm not. If I do move, you know, I'm moving for a reason. I'm moving to create angles and create openings and throwing bombs all the time.
A lot of new fans will no doubt get to know you with this fight. You know, a lot of eyeballs on this card. Um, Going back further, though, you know, you say some people don't know your story. Like, how did you get into this sport? Like, what went into getting to this point?
Oh man, so I've been doing martial arts for almost 30 years. I started with Taekwondo when I was I started with karate back. I come from a war torn country. I was in a refugee camp in Bosnia in 1995, I started training in a refugee camp with some guy that was just teaching karate out of the camp, trying to keep the kids busy and whatnot. And then we escaped from the refugee camp to get into Slovenia. And then once we got there, there was a Bosnian guy teaching Taekwondo. So my father signed me up to train with him, and I just kind of fell in love with the fight game. I was about 10 years old, and yeah, I just fell in love with it, and then started competing. Started winning a lot of championships. Um, During that time in Slovenia, I couldn't really go to school because I didn't have a citizenship, so we had to look to get out of there, right? So my father kind of applied to go to Canada as a refugee. We got accepted, so then we went to Canada, signed up for at a Taekwondo school there. Um, Started training, still started whooping ass, and then became a Canadian. I became a national champion, and then I kept doing. I actually was 10 years in a row national champion in Taekwondo in Canada. In 2002, I met my coach, Lin, who introduced me to K1. I realized I can make money from this fight game, and I kind of fell in love with that. And that's the day I decided that I am going to pursue a career in professional fighting.
Does coming from a war-torn country give you an edge? Does it make you tougher in there when you're struggling, or is that just being Dennis?
I guess it goes both ways. Definitely, it's not that hard to break me because I've seen it. I've been through a lot. I mean, I've lost family members, and people got executed in front of me, and you know, getting into Canada, and then living in poverty you know when they put us in Canada, they kind of put us all the refugees and immigrants all in one area. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen there? We grew up in poverty. A lot of street gang stuff happening, and I had to, as an only child, I had to adapt and survive these things, and martial arts obviously has kept me grounded, and have kept me out of a lot of trouble, because I could have gotten into a lot of trouble if it wasn't for martial arts, definitely.
Where did Watch It Freaks come from? I think I first heard this from Amin Azari. Maybe you sent him a good luck video or something, and he was telling me about you, and I thought it was funny, man. And yeah, tell me your catchphrase.
So I was doing some community work at this place. I was working with kids, just teaching them boxing and stuff like that, moving around. And there was a janitor there, who was a funny guy, and when he was like cleaning up, he was like joke around with the kids, and he would be like, "Watch it, freaks," and it was like, I was like, "That's kind of catchy, man. You mind if I use that?" In kind of, he's like, "You know what, man? Go ahead." I just kind of said it. He didn't even know what he was saying, but to me, it was kind of catchy, and I'm like, I'm gonna start using that in my fighting, and make it as like a lingo thing, like a, how do you say it? Like a catchphrase, right?
Another element, right? Adds another level. It's part of the game.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Amir tells me he wants to fight Jacob Smith. He's going after that fight. How well do you know Amir? I think you guys go back, right? And is that a fight you want to
Man,
see?
Amir is one of the nicest guys in the world, man. And stylistically, that'll be a good matchup. I think that's a very good matchup. I know he was. I was talking to him recently, and he tried to call out Walter, and Walter don't want no smoke. But I think if that happens with him and Jacob Smith, man, that would be amazing, man. I would love to watch that. Amir is a good friend of mine. We trained together. We got to know each other when we were training at Tiger, and we became super close. Good person. Good person. Just all around good guy. Good guy to train with. Taught me a lot, and vice versa. Good guy. Very good people.
Are you,
What
are
do you
you
make
training
of
at Tiger right now?
Yeah, I'm using Tiger more for sparring, and then I'm training. I just hired a coach. I hired Coach Sean Colbert. He's a professional strength and conditioning coach. He was a coach for a lot of UFC fighters and one championship fighters, and yeah, man, I was trying to hire the best, and I want to come in this fight the best shape of my life because I'm coming to prove a point. I'm coming to shock the world, and I'm coming to show who Bosnian Menace really is, and I feel like I deserve this. It's been 20 years in the game. I've done a lot in the sport. I know a lot of people don't know this because they don't do the research. Everybody's into Rodtang and all these guys in one championship, but you need to pay attention to what's going on because there's guys who are hungry and we're coming for it, man.
So you say you're using Tiger for sparring. Have you got your own team of trainers with you there in Phuket then?
I do actually. Actually, so Coach Sean Colbert, he actually organized a team of coaches to work around me every day. So when I go to the gym, I got four guys around me to tell me what to do. I do what I'm told, and yeah, man, I just told him, man, your job is to get me in the best shape possible. I'll do the work. You just tell me what to do and let's get it done, man. Because again, I'm coming to make a statement this time. This is not just it's a big fight for me. It's a big fight. I'm taking this seriously. I'm coming to shock the world, and about time for me to make my dreams come true, and give my family what I've been promising them for years.
And I saw your team in Canada is called Soy Dogs. So I take it you've spent a fair bit of time in Thailand, have you?
I have, yes. So I lived in Thailand. I came to Thailand in 2011. I was here for about 5 years fighting under Buakaw Bunchamek banner. And then in 2016, I moved to China. I was working for a big league there. I was a head coach for the team at Kunlun Fight. So I was a coach there, and I was also I was a signed fighter for the league. So I spent about 4 years there, just before COVID started. And then COVID started, had to go back to Canada, and then during COVID, that's when I um, started watching lots of one championship because there was only one championship in UFC that was throwing shows, and I see this little crazy Asian guy, man, tossing everybody around, and I was like, man, that's the guy. I think he reminded me of me because you came in all crazy, stylish, like flamboyant, and just killing everybody. I'm like, man, I would love to get in the ring with this guy, and it looks like this looks like a fun guy to fight with, man.
Was that when Buakaw was still at Paul Pramuk that you were training with him, or was that after he
No,
left?
no. Actually, Buakaw just opened his gym in Bangkok at that time, and that's when met Superbon Bunchamek came through at the time. Also Petanong was there. That's when I started meeting all these guys, and we started training together, became a family.
What do you think of the top five at the moment? The Muay Thai top five. That's the interesting thing, right? There you are ranked in the top five at Muay Thai, and you're fighting kickboxing. What needs to happen? I mean, of course, Superlex got Haggerty. That's massive. There's some big
What
fights
needs to
happening.
happen is Rodtang needs to defend his belt against a ranked fighter. That's what needs to happen. We all know what needs to happen, guys. You know what
So
I
you
mean?
you no beating about the bush. You think Rodtang has been taking easy fights?
100%. 100%. They've been feeding them bumps this whole time, and I get it. I get it. You gotta be. He makes money for them, and they gotta do what they gotta do. But it's time for him to put them to the test, man. And I'm not saying he's not a great fighter. He's an amazing fighter. He's great. But there is much better guys out there, and I'm definitely coming to prove that I'm one of them. and I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna let my work talk, man. I don't really talk a lot. I joke a lot, and I talk a lot when I'm trying to hype fights up, but I'm usually very humble, and again, I know where I come from, and I've been around the world. I've been humbled by a lot of people, seeing the life, the different lifestyles of different countries, different people, and again, I just want to come in and fight the best, man.
And we were talking about earlier, he admitted afterwards he'd taken Edgar Tabarez lightly. Are you hoping that he's maybe taken you lightly, that he's skipping a few sessions in the gym?
Hey, I hope he's training, because I want the best Rodtang. I don't want a half-ass Rodtang in the ring, because trust me, man, I'm bringing the heat.
Talk to us about this card overall, because they've really gone big on this Impact Arena, some bangers. Let's go through it together. What have we got here? Hang on, we've got 167 Stamp in the main event, of course. Yeah, let's start with that. Stamp versus Denise Sambuanga. How highly do you rate Stamp Fairtex, and what do you make of two old friends fighting each other?
I'm excited about that. I'm more excited about the Tawan Chai versus Joe. Smoking.
Did you see the first fight?
I did, and I think Joe had that fight, man. So let's see what happened. Let's see what happens this time around. I'm a big fan. Actually, my wife is a big fan of Stamp, so she's more excited to see that fight than I am. I'm more excited to see the Tawan Chai versus Smoking Joe fight for sure.
Is your wife Thai, or is she Canadian, or?
She's Korean but grew up in Canada. Yeah, she also does Muay Thai. We have a fight family, man.
Yeah, because Stamp's really popular. The first time they went to America and they had like Demetrius Johnson main event, and I wasn't there, but everyone said that like the biggest cheer of the night was Stamp and Rodtang, and then I see like the next card they have in America, they got Stamp headlining it. So yeah, she's obviously like got quite a big fan following in America. So it's just interesting that your wife's a fan.
Oh man, she loves the sport, and she loves One Championship, and yeah, like she really follows the women's division. Even like Supergirl, Wonder Girl, she loves those girls. She loves watching them fight. She really wants me to help her get a picture with Stamp. So let's see what what we can do.
Yeah, you might be a little bit busy that night.
Well, I mean, throughout the week, I guess maybe if we see each other.
Fight week, of course.
Yeah. I hope we can steal her away for a pick.
Rodtang hasn't been finished since 2013. The implication is you quite fancy that you're going to put him away.
Look, man, I'm fancy I can put everybody away. I just got to find that shot. And as long as I'm in great shape, I mean, I will definitely find it. I will definitely find it, as long as I don't get tired, man. Because, once you get tired, it's harder to land these shots, man.
Is Johan Ghazali on your radar?
Nah, man, he's a kid, man. Come on, listen. Let's skip that, okay? Because this guy needs a lot more work to do to get up to where we are, man. Come on, man. We've been fighting legends for years, brother. This guy just comes in and try to take the spot. Now, look, don't get me wrong. Great potential to be a big star, okay? But he has a lot more work to do, man. Maybe later down the road, if he keeps winning, yeah, man, I'll be more than glad to share the ring with him. But right now, I feel like he hasn't done enough to be fighting any one of us ranked guys yet.
Well, he's got Nguyen Tran doing that, a guy you know well. How does that go?
So is that the guy you knocked out that he's fighting? Is that the same guy you knocked out?
Yeah,
He is the same guy.
No boxing, man. This guy's gonna get. I think. What's his name again?
Nguyen Tran going out.
No, the young boy. Yeah,
Jojo Ghazali.
I think he's gonna crush the Viet guy. Vietnamese guy is not that strong, man. He has no boxing. He's got high kicks. That's it.
Well, there you go.
I don't see the Doi Tran not winning this fight at all. I think John's got him probably gonna knock him out. Jojo's gonna knock him out. Definitely, I think so.
And Sexan versus Liam just got announced. What do you make of that matchup?
Ooh, that's a great one, man. I want to see that. I want to see that. Talking about Sexan, his fight with my boy Amir, I think that's gotta happen again because I had Amir winning that fight, man. I don't know how they. Again, I'm not a referee. Who cares what I got to say? But in my eyes, I had Amir winning that fight. So, definitely interested to see what happens with Liam against Sexan. Sexan's been a beast, though, man. I fought in a few tournaments with Sexan on it, and he keeps taking these belts, man. Like even back in the day, 2016, 2017. We had some 8-man tournaments, and this guy is just so relentless, man. He doesn't stop. I don't know where he gets all that cardio from, because he's pretty old too. He's not a young buck, right?
Yeah.
He's
His last loss, I think Andy, you were the one that made this point. It's a really good point. Was it was during Ramadan? So I don't know if that was like a factor. If that might have like affected his.
I'm not going to take credit for that. That was Liam Harrison who pointed that out. So.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? He gets kind of sloppy. That's one thing I see. Like he'll with the pressure, but like he gets sloppy, man.
He's a
good with the
wild man.
pressure.
He's a wild
Yeah, he
man. I
gets
mean,
wild and-
you can't fight like he fights without leaving a few openings along the way.
True. Yes. And I feel like if you just don't engage with them in those crazy brawls, you can find a target to put him out, man. Because fuck, he gets hit so much. Shit. He gets hit so much, man. I don't know.
What do you
But
make of this
that's a banger.
matchup? Just putting two legends, two guys who are game. I mean, maybe two men who you can relate to in that regard, right? Two men who've been there, done it, and know how to go to war. Do you like the way that they put them together and just made this happen, especially that it's happening in the US?
Oh, that's happening in the U.S. Oh, that
Denver.
makes it even more interesting,
Denver,
man.
yeah.
That makes it, yeah. I like it, man. I like it all around, man. I'm excited for that, man. Look, I'm a big fan of Liam Harrison. I have a lot of people come tell me that we have the same fighting style. I don't see it, but maybe a little bit, I guess, with how explosive we both are. Um,
Liam
but
really
yeah,
likes those low kicks, doesn't he? Really likes those low kicks.
yeah. He likes them, and he's fast and explosive. Even man, he's a well-rounded fighter. I've been watching him for years. I've been a fan, and we're very excited to see that fight.
We've got Liam Harrison on the show next week. What's the one question you think you have to ask a guy like Liam?
One question. Fuck, I have a lot of questions to ask that guy. To narrow it down to one. Just like who has been his toughest opponent? That's what I would like to know. Who has been the toughest opponent for Liam Harrison?
So, I mean, Liam's a bantamweight, isn't he? Do you struggle to make flyweight? Would you ever consider like moving up, moving down, or is flyweight's the one for you? Is it?
Once we get the belts, then we're open to everything. But no, I don't have trouble making weight. I'm comfortable at a flyweight, 135 pounds. I'm very comfortable there. I'm finally fighting people who are my size, because usually on these other organizations that I fought on, people cut so much weight, and like I'm always fighting guys who are much bigger than me. So I feel like finally I'm fighting people who are my size, and it's great.
Some dudes fight for money. Some dudes fight because they just love fighting. But what would a one world title mean for you, the people you came up with, your coaches, your family? Like, what would that mean?
Oh, it would mean the world, to them, because they've seen me going through a lot of struggle in my life, going through, just life in general. But on this journey, this fight journey, I've never gave up, man. And A lot of people always tell me, how much longer you're gonna fight. I'm like, until I can't put when I'm gonna start, when I'm gonna stop, because something inside me is telling me to keep going. So I'm just gonna keep going, and until the wheels fall off. And of course, I just want to prove more to myself that I was meant for this whole time, and I was meant to be a champion one day. And I guess, um, God has put me in this position now where I have a chance to prove to myself that I'm one of the best strikers in the world, and obviously, just to give my family that honor as well.
The Silent Assassin asks, why aren't Rodtang and Christian Lee defending their belts? Why do one championship fighters never defend their belts? Lol. Is this something that you're...
I imagine Rodtang will be defending. Imagine Rodtang will be defending his against. Which one's Rodtang got? Rodtang's got the kickboxing belt, yeah, flyweight kickboxing.
No,
he's got Muay
Rodtang has
Thai.
got the Muay Thai belt.
Rodtang's got Muay Thai. Oh, okay, yeah.
Super
So
Leg-
I think
Super Leg is,
Rodtang to
champion
carry is the fight
kickboxing.
they want to make now.
Yeah, but look, why do they want him to fight a guy with a broken knee? Okay, you
Well,
guys.
I mean, this is October. Yeah, October. I don't think that fight's going to be. I assume that's why he's having this tune-up fight.
Look,
Takeru's not ready.
fight. I bet you that fight won't happen till next October, because a knee injury is not something you can come back from just like that, especially when the knee is broken in two places. Okay,
He's back in the gym though.
teammates.
I think.
I'm sorry.
I think he's back in the gym. I think I saw some footage of him back.
Yeah, I've seen him in the gym, but you'll never see him. He will never be the same fighter. That guy will never be the same fighter. I have teammates. Okay? UFC fighters, The guy had a little something torn in his knee. The guy was undefeated in UFC. Okay? Tore his ACL, tried to fix it up, never fought again. This guy Takeru has a broken knee in two places. It's one thing, okay, if you break your shin or you break a bone, that's easier to heal. But a knee's not an easy injury to come back from. Now look, they can do their thing. I don't care. Even if when I beat Rodtang, he can still go and fight Takeru, because I want to fight guys who are 100% healthy and coming to bang. I don't want to fight guys who have injuries like this. These are serious injuries. He's gonna take 2 kicks to the leg and his leg's gonna give out, man. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Now, I might be wrong. That's just my opinion. That's how I see it.
So it's fair to say that if you do beat Rodtang, you would definitely fancy the prospect of fighting Takeru in Tokyo.
I don't want Takeru again. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight guys who are injured, man. Give me somebody who is 100% healthy, fresh, and ready to go. Because look, man. I just signed a new contract. I think maybe. Again, I don't want to jinx myself, but I don't know how much I got left in me. I just want to fight the best and give the best out of me that I can in these next couple years I got left in this game. I don't want to be fighting guys who are injured or have any kind of bad injuries like that. I want to fight guys who are fresh, strong, hard, coming, legends. I want to fight legends, man. I want to fight the best, and that's it. Takeru and Rodtang can have that fight. Once I beat Rodtang, they can have it. I don't care about that. I'm more focused on the belts now.
We spoke earlier about calling your shot and how far it can take you. Liam Harrison was adamant that he was going to fight Sexan, and he got his wish. So you say you want to fight legends. Who falls into that bracket if you've got 2 years left? Who are the guys that you respect, who you just think are interesting?
Well, Rodtang, number one. Once I beat Rodtang in kickboxing, of course I want to go for that belt as well. Once we got those, whatever they want to throw at me, I'll be ready. As long as they're coming to take my head off and coming in healthy. This is what I want. I want guys who are the best in their prime coming, bringing the heat. This is what I want. I don't want fight crippled guys. Sorry. I didn't sign up for that.
Can we get your thoughts on Superlek Haggerty? That's a blockbuster in the US. How does that go down? Rematch.
Man, Haggerty, man, he's proved me wrong a couple times now, so I can't go against him anymore because this guy's he's the real deal. Something about him though that I just feel like he's not a real guy. Like he feels like kind of like a snake to me, but I have to respect his game. All that kind of shit aside, I have to respect his game. I think it's going to be a great fight with him and Super Leg, but I think Super Leg takes this fight. I think is it kickboxing or I'm sorry, is it kickboxing or a Muay Thai match? I forgot.
I want to say Muay Thai. I'd have to double check that though.
Yeah, it's Muay
We'll
Thai.
have to double check because I would like to see. I would like to see which rules, man, they're fighting in.
Yeah, it's
because
definitely Muay Thai.
Muay Thai. Then yeah, I think
Yeah.
Super Leg might take. In kickboxing, I think Haggerty has a better chance. in
Did you see the
kickboxing.
first fight between them?
I seen clips. I haven't seen a full.
Yeah, no,
fight.
Haggerty was doing fine, and then Superlet caught him with an elbow. It got stopped on the cut.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. These ties are slick with them damn elbows, man.
Yeah, well,
But
don't have to
like
worry
I
about
said,
that in a kickboxing fight.
I think kickboxing, he definitely has the edge over Super Leg. Muay Thai going to be a little bit harder. Definitely. I think Super Leg wins Muay Thai. If it's kickboxing, I'll gotta give it to Haggerty. He's proven me wrong a few times, and I was rooting for my boy Fabricio last time, and I was just, man, you can't count him out anymore. You can't.
Have you been training with Fabricio? Because I know Tiger Muay Thai is so big. Like I asked guys that were at Tiger Muay Thai, have you been training with this other guy who's at Tiger Muay Thai? And they'll be like, no, I don't see him. It's such a big gym. But have you been training with Fabricio? Have you been training with any other big names there?
I know Fabricio from my days in China, man. He was just a little kid, man. He was just a little 18-year-old boy. He came and didn't even know how to speak English back then. And from then, I knew this kid was going to be a star if he keeps. I seen the drive in him, right? I seen how focused he was and the drive that he had, and I knew he was going to be special. I knew that kid was coming for greatness. As long as he's in the right place with the right people, he definitely had I knew he had a big future ahead of him. So, I did train with him. He comes and helps out sometime. Before, when I was training, I just came back, so I was training with Superbond. I was training with Superbond for the last 2 fights. So I haven't seen Fabricio lately, over a year or so. I think he's actually still in Brazil.
Yeah, he was injured, I think. I can't remember. He was injured, I think, in the Haggerty fight or before the Haggerty fight.
Yeah. So I think he's just in Brazil, and I think he might be coming back soon. So I haven't seen him lately, but yeah, we've definitely trained. I've known Fabricio for years, man. Close to, I think, about 8 years. I know him for 7 years or something like that.
Well, Denis, thanks so much for joining us, man. Can't wait to see this fight. I'm glad that you got your shot in the end. Can't wait to see how it goes down, especially after speaking to you now. I'm all the more intrigued. Yeah, this is going to be a banger.
Man. Appreciate you guys.
That one.
Appreciate you guys, man. Stay glued and don't blink.
Yeah, we will. We'll see you in June.
Yes,
Nice
sir.
one, Denis.
Thank you, guys. Wadikap.
Thanks.